The problem of Africa. The problem of Africa is not poverty. It is not climate. Our problem is not education. Our problem is purely corrupt systems. We have corrupt education system, corrupt health system, corrupt government, corrupt election system, corrupt data. We have corrupt everything. And this is what has become the major problem of Africa. When it comes to our values as Africans, we exchanged, all we were shortchanged with the Western culture, and we forgot our culture, which African culture, I call it God's culture. It is the most godly culture in Africa. It was culture of love, culture of care, and the culture of abundance. Africans, we never lacked anything. We ate a lot of maize. We ate a lot when it comes to food, the most healthy food that we ate. Even some of the sicknesses we have today, it is because of we were shortchanged and given other values which have become our problems. We took other people's values and we brought them into our culture, into our society, and this is like a pollution of our own culture. So Africa suffers from corrupt systems. When it comes to leadership, it is not the merit. We don't elect leaders based on meritocracy. When you look like cabinet secretaries, ministers, it is just appointees of the president. Nobody questions their qualifications. They don't undergo any vetting. The president just appoints someone be the minister of finance. We don't know what are the qualifications, whether the paper, even the education system is corrupt. People are corrupting even the certificates, education certificates. We have corrupted our system, even the data, and that is the most critical part. There is someone operating with my data, as me, impersonating me as a person. If we tamper with the quality of data, we lose a lot of value, because now the data is the identity. That is why we have a lot of corruption and we cannot track the real corrupt people. Even the dead people are still operating in Africa. The dead people are still taking loans in Africa. The dead people are still doing businesses. They are still acquiring tenders from government. They are still being paid salaries when they are dead. This is the problem of Africa: corruption and the corrupt systems. I will call it corrupt systems because we are not born corrupt. It is the systems that we find. If you want assistance from a police, you have to give something. If you want even to the hospital, if you want your sick person to be attended, you need to tip off the doctor attending the sick person. Anywhere you need, and we don't value other people's time when it comes to public services. We take them like we are going for free things, and that is why private sector is thriving against the public sector. When the public sector, they have all they collect our tax, we fund those services, but we are taken for granted. When we go for those services, we are taken as if we are coming for free things. This is the problem of Africa. We have misconstrued approach to matters that are of concern. When it comes to accountability, we have corrupted accountability. We have the forms which gives the most richest people. When you come to Africa, you cannot know the rich and the poor. The list is corrupted. You don't know who wants what. It is we have just like downplayed our minds. Even people are taking wealth in offshores. What for? This is the highest foolishness that I've seen in Africa. Person knows I cannot finish this money in my generation, in my third and fourth generation. Even he takes the money offshore. Why can't that money be reinvested to make? Because this is the richness of Africa being held in one person, and this is why we have the quote of 10 millionaires and 10 million beggars. 10 millionaires against 10 million beggars. This is the irony of the richness of Africa. And then the white men, they brought us a calculation of GDP, income per capita, which is a misconstrued, because this kind of calculation of economy, it assumes that there is equality. But in Africa, this formula should not apply, because there is no equality. Only view the wealth, the resources, they have been stolen by only few in the corrupt. And those are the people who have the ability to buy the ports. They buy off our loyalty. They buy off everything. We worship them. There is no independence in Africa. And then the white men, they made us like become like beggars to them when they came and found us rich in resources, in skills. They found Africa independent. Africa was independent before colonization. After that, it is a brainwash. It is just short-changing each other. And even today, we cannot carry out a project without going for a loan from the whites when we were self-sufficient. So Africa needs to retrace its roots, but the first thing that needs to be addressed is the corrupt systems. Even the law of that should be punishable by death should be the law of the corruption. That is crime that should be punishable by death, because this is what is leading to the rot in Africa. And most of the investors who are coming in Africa, they are non-Africans, because Africans themselves, they are stealing the money, they are banking the money. And today we have people showing us how they are stealing the money, even in their bedrooms, in their sitting rooms, in their toilets. They are stacking money in banks. This is foolishness in Africa that needs to stop. And it will be stopped by the young generation if we don't rise up and say no, 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 no. This madness must stop, because we are cornered in a way. We are coming to a very disparate generation that graduates cannot get job. Graduates are broke. Graduates cannot afford rent. They cannot afford food, yet they are graduates. Why did they waste all the money in the education system only to tarmac and die in disparate moods? You die of drugs, alcoholism. Africa needs to correct the corruption and the corrupt systems. We need to address that holistically and direct, without sparing anybody, because that is our biggest sickness. Thank you.